What's going on YouTube? This is Country Coder. I want to welcome you back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you to the channel. I hope that you'll enjoy the content I have for you. Well, to start today's video, I'm at the Stell Newman Memorial, which is a memorial or museum for the World War II in the Pacific. I went inside a while ago to see, if they would allow me to film inside, but they say they don't allow any videos, but I did take a bunch of pictures. And so I'm going to kind of do a voiceover after I show you what's sitting over here, and kind of tell you about all the pictures and everything, and hopefully you'll kind of get a little idea of what this museum is about. But let me spin around over here, and what this is actually a two-man Japanese sub. Let's walk over here, and I'm going to show you, kind of what the actual picture is that they talk about it on. So let's get over here to. So here's the actual talking about it. As far as what all they, you can see down here. You got just two people that's in here. So let's walk around the sub here. It's 80 feet long, and I know that there's some movies out there that's talking about the submarines that the Japanese used. The one that really comes to my mind is the one that was recently put out a few years ago with Nicolas Cage, and that's the one talking about the USS Indianapolis, that I think is the only credited U.S. ship that the Japanese sank. So you saw in the picture, it's real cramped in there, but two people is all it took to run this thing, and so comfort really wasn't what they were concerned about. They was concerned more about winning this war. So when I walked into the museum, I was really kind of blown away by all of the displays that they had. You start out with the colonial times of Guam, all the way up till telling you about the U.S. control of Guam, and even kind of tells you before the war, even shows you a map of when all of the islands around Guam, who all controlled those islands, which kind of gives you an idea of why Guam was such a strategic location here in the war in the Pacific. One thing I found interesting here at the museum that I really didn't know before coming here was that Guam had their own military unit called the Imperial Guard of Guam. They actually received their basic training here on Guam, and you can see how many Chamorro people actually went through that basic training. I'd actually highly recommend that you pause this video for just a few minutes and kind of read through this journal, and also the next picture, which is the surrender letter, as this journal kind of tells you about the days leading up to the invasion of Guam, and it's pretty cool to read a real person's journal about what was happening, and then also reading this follow-on letter as far as the surrender of Guam to the Japanese forces. If you will recall, during part one of this World War II in the Pacific, I made a comment while we were at the Asan Bay Overlook about how the Japanese forces treated the local Chamorro people during the Japanese invasion. As you can see some of the pictures, you will see some of the forced labor, and later on in this video I'm actually going to take you to one of those locations of the forced labor. as some more of these pictures roll through of the exhibits here in the museum. If you're ever on the island of Guam, go look at this museum, because I'm only giving you a slight glimpse of some of the World War II history that this museum is offering, because there is a lot more to this museum than I'm able to show you with these pictures. All right, YouTube, we're here at the next location as far as, these World War II in the specific locations, historical locations. And I'm here at the Alpaca Point Agat unit, and I walked around and there's not really much to see. I'll flash up here the two pictures that you kind of are seeing, but the pillbox is kind of overgrown and you can't really see into the little cave that it talks about. So let's get on over to the next place and see what that one's about, and hopefully it has some more information. All right, YouTube, we're here at the third location for this video, and that's at the Agat unit, Gangan Point. I think that's how you say it. This is like I said, another World War II in the specific location that the U.S. used to come ashore. So let's walk around and see what we can find here at this location, and go from there. All right, so here is the what they're saying about it as far as this point, and from looking at it, looks like we got a couple of Japanese strongholds. From the distance, I can already see a couple of some type of defenses as far as guns or something like that. So we'll see what that is here in just a second. And then, like I said, it looks like we got stronghold, and here's what it says about that. I may, from a couple years ago when I was here, I may have some better pictures of these two. We'll see. So let's walk around and go from there. So these are coastal defense guns is what this is saying right here. I'll give you a closer look at the gun. You can see the spiral that they got, to help with the velocity of it, as far as, making it shoot farther and faster. See, sure it's all seized up, over the years. But open that, push the shell in, and fire it off. Once again, the kind of faded out over the time. It's almost like during the coronavirus, they just didn't keep up the these locations, so they kind of shut the island down pretty hard. So, and then you got this Japanese anti-air gun right here. It'd be interesting to me to see some of these, actually fully functional, as far as watching them shoot and everything. But of course, over time, with all the being out in the element, it's like anything else that's next to the coast, it's going to rust real quickly. All right, here's one of the strongholds. take a look around, and you can see these as far as the beams and stuff. I don't know whether they're going to be original or were they added after the fact to help reinforce this little area. As far as, you know, we saw these over at the Island Beach as well, and you know, of course, can't really see anything now because of all the trees and stuff, but you know, the ocean's just on the other side of this trees. Here's some type of pipe, as far as, you know, I guess maybe some type of gas was coming up here to help keep this little area warm. How are you doing there, little buddy? That's one thing I don't like, is spiders. Spiders and snakes. You won't ever see me playing with them. As I said, you know, sitting over here right next, this is on top of that stronghold. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Saw a glimpse of it over here, but you know, that's up there is where we were just standing on top of the or the stronghold, and the stronghold's right over there. I saw a glimpse of it, but you know, I don't think you're going to be able to make it out here on the videos. So. And here we go with the last little stronghold. I guess I'm gonna say this wasn't originally, you know, this is not built into the actual mountain or, you know, the rock here. I think they concreted this in right next to it, and you know, kind of let all this up here kind of grow over it to help it blend in. So here's what it looks like inside this one. And of course, you know, right here on the beach to help defend it. So this is talking about the Battle of Orto. I think that's how you say it. You know, this, you can see right here where it's talking about it, and that's going to be, let's walk over here, because that's going to be that little peninsula right out there. So you can see, you know, how close we are. Imagine some of this, as far as these concrete pillars are, you know, from the World War II. So one of the locals was telling me that during the battle that we was just looking at, that here in the bay behind me, that there was a whole bunch of ships, you know, and there was, you know, kind of stacked, boom, 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 you know, and that you could actually go scuba diving and see all the ones that were actually sank. You know, they kind of just left them there as, you know, their memorial, I guess you could say. And that's something that would actually get me into scuba diving, because I'm not really a beach person, you know. I don't really like just sitting. I kind of like, you know, doing things, adventure and stuff like that. So, but that's something that I could use to get me into scuba diving. It's actually, you know, quite interesting, and I kind of wish that I still had enough time to actually, you know, learn how to scuba dive and go do it, but I just don't have the time. So let's get over here to the next location. The next location is actually called the Ghost Guns. The reason why it's called that is because there are 3 guns that the Japanese were used to, or trying to get developed and built, but you know, we took the island back in enough time that they didn't get them fully developed, but they were trying to use them as defense guns. And so let's get over there to it, and I'll show you what that's all about. I'm here at the Piti Gun Unit that the Japanese built back in between 1941 and 1944. We're here behind this church that right here behind it is a little small trail that goes up some hill. It's only about a 10-15 minute walk. They kind of said it's kind of an easy hike, but I kind of want to bring you out here because unless you see the church here, you won't really know where to go. And these are 3 guns that the Japanese actually had the Chamorro people build for them. I mean, they was kind of a quote-unquote slave to the Japanese during the Japanese invasion, and you know, they had the Chamorro villagers, you know, carrying all the metal up these hills in this jungle and everything to build these defensive guns. And I think there were 3 of them, but they had a range of about 10 miles, and also they were never actually fired. We kind of invaded back over the island before they had a chance to completely finish these guns. So let's go take this easy hike, and we'll see what all these guns look like, because I haven't been up here. So let's get going. So as I said, you kind of come around the side of the church and you start seeing the concrete stairs that they built, and I'm going to assume, you know, that these were built after the World War II was over. You can see with all this jungle and everything that you don't get a lot of sun in here, so these concrete steps are actually pretty slick. And there they are, or there's one of them. Look how massive this thing is. You can see right down there where they put the shell in, and it was actually a 14mm shell that, like I said, had a range of about 10 miles. So it's pretty good distance for that size of a shell. Yeah, you see right here where it says, you know, 5.5 inches. So it keeps going up, so maybe the other 2 are up here. I'm not sure. There's one right here. You can see where it's kind of been folded, fell over or something. I just happened to see it as I was walking by it. So here's the, I'm going to assume this is the only other one that they got, because it said, you know, 3 shells. So this side you can kind of see inside of it because it's not right next to the ground. So let's take a peek inside. Over the years, I guess people have thrown stuff in there, and kind of bugs got in there, probably making nests and everything. Alright, well, this is, like I said, the Piti Gun Unit that the 3 guns that the Japanese were, you know, building to defend, but never did get it finished in time. So I don't know what the next World War II stop's going to be. I'm hoping I can kind of combine all these together some way to make some sort of a flow to it. So I apologize. It kind of seems to jump a little bit because, you know, I'm not able to do all of them on the same day, so it kind of hurts me, you know, kind of having a flow with it. So all right, YouTube, here we are at kind of the last location for this video, you know, on the second part of World War II stuff that I was wanting to show you. I'm gonna spin around for just a second. So right over there is where I started walking down the beach, and I kind of walked all the way around, you know, till, you know, where I'm at right now, which is right next to this cliff, and there's a little trail over there that I'm gonna go on. But from what I was researching, they said that all along the beach there's a bunch of pillboxes, which we've already seen one, so wasn't going to show you each individual one. But right here's something, you know, kind of special that I thought was pretty interesting. But all along the beach where I could see, I only counted, you know, like 5 or 6, but some of the places had kind of overgrown a little bit, and, you know, some of it I couldn't really walk on the beach, so I had to go back out to the main, you know, 2-mile drag, and then find another way to the beach. And I finally found, you know, because I was trying to get to this location. So let's walk up this little trail and around, like I said, around this little cliff behind me, you know. So let's walk around there and I'll show you what's on the other side. Well, it wasn't on the other side. Here it is right here. So this is one of the old Japanese defense guns, you know, that we saw earlier in this video. If you want to imagine, you know, just kind of looking out, if you're looking this way next to this you know, mountainside, you won't be able to see this gun sitting right here. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Nope, you can't see through it. All right, let's keep on walking up this little cliff. So one thought walking around here, you can kind of understand, you know, why we had to bomb this place so much in order to, you know, disable a lot of these defenses. You know, I mean, if they would have gotten the 3 ghost guns finished, you know, it may have been a total different story. But, you know, with all of the defenses here on Two Mon Bay, it's a good thing, you know, even on down to Asan Beach, you know, there's probably defenses all along this beach. And because, I mean, I guess this is the easier side to take. You don't really, you know, the other side of it is a lot of, you know, sharp drop-offs. So I guess, like I said, you can understand why this side was defended so well, even though, you know, we was able to still reclaim it by all the bombing that we did. Well, I can't go any further. The current's kind of high today, and so I don't really want to try to get off. Well, I didn't, you know, I don't have the right clothes on either to try to go swimming, and got all my personal belongings with me, so I don't really want to leave them over here. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. You know, once again, you know, I got a lot of World War II history here, so. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, and leave me a comment. You know, let me know what you think about this World War II history. Unfortunately, it's probably besides the Japanese soldier, this is probably kind of the last of the World War II history locations that around the island, besides the Talipopo Falls area. So But anyway, share this with some of your friends too. You know, I think they'll enjoy it, especially your World War II friends. So until the next video, always take the scenic route, and I'll see you then.